Hello everyone, this is Monstertaming coming at you with another uh, map ranking video for Kindred Fates. Now we've gotten to what I think is currently the best map in Kindred Fates, and that is Ruins. A quick disclaimer, Ruins is my favorite map. It is the map I'm probably the best on of all maps, but I hope that you can trust me after all this time to not be showing favoritism towards a map just because I'm good at it or just because I like it, and listen to what I have to say about it and take it seriously with the compliments I have to pay for it as well as the negatives. I think Ruins is so good because it gives you, very much like Riverside does, an ability to showcase both tactics and skills, but it does it in an even better way than Riverside. It does lean heavier to tactics, so there are definitely some other maps that could probably be better than Ruins for a perfect map, but I think Ruins is a very, very solid A-tier map. And that a lot of maps should take cues from Ruins' design philosophy, if not using the exact design of Ruins, but at least its design philosophy. The biggest example I can think of is right here. You see my opponent was trying to buff, which Ruins is one of the only maps you can genuinely get a buff strat to work on, which is just saying something really nice because the buffs are a huge part of the game. Light types are literally dedicated to buffing as one of their things they do. They have sustain and buff, and if you can only really try that on Ruins, that kind of showcases the other maps are a little bit flawed if they make it so one type is severely handicapped on 3 of the 4 maps. And Ruins lets you try that, but you also saw that I stopped them. It's not like Caverns. Well, yeah, I guess 2 of the 4 maps, because Caverns is a little bit broken. But you saw that I could actually stop it, unlike Caverns. The same thing with the rest. If you dig with Shovelet and go through all these walls and go over to rest, if your opponent has a Slifer and Avion, they can catch you literally no problem. But even a Skullkin or a Lumala can catch up. The only way you wouldn't be able to catch up is if you had like a Salamurder. Like if you have Shovelet, Slifer, Lumala, Skullkin, Avion, Mekid, they could all catch up easily. And then Bear might have a little bit problem catching up, but even then you could probably use an explosion that would hit through the wall and still interrupt. And that's why you can't just run and heal. You have to scare your opponent off. You have to throw down some quicksand. You have to throw down some rock slides, and you get away to heal. Same thing with Lumala. If you just run off and throw down Angelic Ray without doing anything to distract your opponent first, they can just chase you down and stop you. Kadoki's the only one that's really hard to stop, but even then you have some ability to stop Kadoki, even if it's super annoying to stop him because his heal happens so fast and is so non-committal and with no cooldown. But that's like the only thing I can think of, like out of all the buffs and heals in the game, is literally Kadoki's passive is the only one that's kind of annoying to deal with on Ruins. Which showcases huge tactical mindsets, which I think is Kindred Fate's by far strongest aspect, because it is something that no other game really has. Pokemon and similar monster taming games that have any PvP scene, they're all turn-based. So you have like a strategic set to it, but by virtue of being turn-based, there's always going to be, like, you can only be so smart. Like, there is a set meta, and that meta is very hard to break, because with a turn-based game, you can't pull crazy clutches out most of the time. In Kindred Fates, you can. You can use your tactical mindset in Ruins to beat someone who has an objectively better team than you, because that it doesn't matter if their team has better stats than you. If you're the better player, Ruins really lets you shine in that regard, tactically speaking. And it has some good places that let you act as mini arenas. You have the middle and kind of off to the left, which are relatively open areas, and even this area back here you see my Lumala right now are all relatively open areas where you can get cornered and you have to fight tooth and nail and actually use your skills at dodging and aiming to fight your opponent off before you can get back away and start setting up choke points again and trying to control the map. So it has everything. Ruins has map control, it has crazy flanking tactics you can do, it has some really tense brawls that you can get into with very little cover, and it just, I know I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit here, it's just great. It emphasizes everything good about Kindred Fates. The only bad parts are if you don't really understand the map. When I first played this game, Ruins was my worst map, and I hated it. I literally despised Ruins. I was like, Forest is probably the best map. Ruins is terrible. I never want to play it. I never want to see it again. Basically how I feel about Caverns right now. And the reason for that is because I didn't understand Ruins. And Ruins is not a game where you can just sit back and let your opponent run away. You have to pressure them. You have to be thinking 2 steps ahead. And these type of things are just so fun to me, and it's one of the elements that makes Kindred Fate shine the brightest, and why I'm able to make 400 plus videos of a PvP game that is in its alpha, is because of these strategic moments. If I had literally only Forest, I don't think I would love Kindred Fates as much as I do. Like, if there was only maps similar to Forest, you know, and still to this day, I'm like, if I get Forest like 3 times in a row, I kind of want to stop recording for the day. I'm like, alright, I'm kind of getting burnt out. Because, same thing with Caverns, because it just feels too bland. But I can play Ruins, or even to a lesser extent, Riverside all day and not feel bored, because that every match has so much depth to it, and so much thinking and strategy that can go into it, and so many crazy things that can happen. I've had matches on Ruins literally time out, 21 minutes long. I've also had matches on Ruins that ended in like less than 4 minutes. So you can do really long matches and really fast. I've had some matches on Ruins go faster than some pretty good matches went on Forest even. So it's not that Ruins is really claustrophobic and is always going to go into a stall like Caverns. But you can just, if you're aggressive enough, you can keep up with your opponent. If you're smart enough, you can control the map and then force it to stall. You can do whatever you want with Ruins, and every kinfolk feels like it has a place on Ruins, and that is something that I think uniquely only Ruins can say, and that is why I think Ruins is the best map in Kindred Fates. Thank you all for watching. This has been Monstertaming signing off. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye, God bless, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.